In this video, we'll be taking a look at 3 NFL games happening on December 3rd, 2023, and providing you with free team picks and total picks for each one of those games, so 6 picks in total. Welcome back to Cash Out Sports. Let's dive right into it. Oh, and don't forget to subscribe and to click the bell icon to get notified as soon as these videos get released, so that you have more time to plan out your bets as we provide these videos on a daily basis. I can guarantee that you'll have all the important information that you'll need on these 3 NFL games after fully watching this video. One more thing before we start. If you would like to gain access to our best exclusive sports picks to take your journey to the next level, then check out our Patreon in the link down below, where we offer our best single picks, parlay picks, and much more. Now let's get started. Atlanta Falcons versus New York Jets. This upcoming weekend, football enthusiasts will witness an intriguing matchup between the 5-6 Atlanta Falcons and the 4-7 New York Jets. This clash promises to deliver a spectacle of contrasting narratives as the Falcons ride the wave of a decisive triumph over the Saints that propelled them to the top of the National Football Conference South. Desmond Ridder's leadership and a standout performance from Bijan Robinson have injected newfound vigor into the Falcons, who are now poised to extend their winning streak. On the flip side, the Jets find themselves licking their wounds after a disheartening Black Friday defeat at the hands of the Dolphins, during which Tim Boyle made his debut start, relieving the struggling Zach Wilson. 2 teams below .500, each with its own tale of struggles and resilience, underscore the unpredictable nature of the NFL. The Atlanta Falcons, currently boasting a 5-6 record, secured a crucial victory against the New Orleans Saints with a final score of 24-15 in their last outing. The Falcons' defense showcased resilience by forcing the Saints to settle for field goals, tallying 5 in the game. Despite being outgained 444-396, the Falcons managed to capitalize on turnovers, with both teams relinquishing possession twice. The recent triumph ended a 3-game losing streak against formidable opponents, Arizona, Minnesota, and Tennessee. The Falcons' offensive prowess is evident in their average of 19 points per game, backed by 201.5 passing yards and 139.3 rushing yards per game. Quarterback Desmond Ridder has thrown for 1,908 yards, 7 touchdowns, and 8 interceptions, while Bijan Robinson has contributed 703 rushing yards and 3 touchdowns. Drake London has been a reliable target, amassing 565 receiving yards and 2 scores. Defensively, the Falcons are allowing an average of 21 points per game this season. In contrast, the New York Jets, currently standing at 4-7, faced a setback in their recent encounter with the Miami Dolphins, resulting in a 34-13 loss. The Jets struggled, trailing 17-6 at halftime and facing a wider margin in the second half. Outgained 395-159, the Jets also grappled with 3 turnovers during the game. This defeat marked their 4th consecutive loss, including setbacks against the Bills, Raiders, and Chargers. The Jets' offensive output has been modest, averaging 15 points per game, with 166.8 passing yards and 93.4 rushing yards per game. Tim Boyle, in his inaugural season with the Jets, has thrown for 212 yards, 1 touchdown, and 3 interceptions. The running game, led by Breece Hall, has accumulated 569 yards and 2 touchdowns, while Garrett Wilson has been a standout receiver with 64 catches for 695 yards and 3 scores. Defensively, the Jets are conceding an average of 22 points per game this season. The Falcons, breaking a 3-game losing streak, enter the matchup with a renewed sense of confidence. However, they face challenges, with their defense allowing 21 points per game and a -6 turnover ratio. Quarterback Desmond Ridder's vulnerability to interceptions, coupled with the offensive line's 30 sacks, poses a significant hurdle. Protecting Ridder from the Jets' formidable pass rush will be pivotal for the Falcons' success. The Jets, despite their recent defensive struggles, have an opportunity to regroup against the Falcons. Anticipating Aaron Rodgers' potential return, the Jets aim to garner wins swiftly to provide a compelling reason for his comeback. Both teams grapple with offensive struggles, ranking in the bottom half of the league in total points per game. The Jets, labeled as underdogs, possess defensive potential and are expected to hold the Falcons to under 20 points. The Jets' offensive strategy hinges on revitalizing their running game with Breece Hall and connecting with Garrett Wilson down the field. As a live underdog, the Jets are favored to cover the spread. Examining the gameplay, the Falcons are likely to emphasize a ground attack against the Jets' defensive line, incorporating strategic aerial plays when deemed least risky. Desmond Ridder, returning to the starting role, faces the challenge of rebuilding confidence in a game manager capacity to secure his place on the team. A conservative approach aims to consume game clock, particularly crucial in an away game scenario. Conversely, the Jets plan to rely on their ground game with Tim Boyle at the helm. While Garrett Wilson remains a threat, the Jets lack the offensive firepower to fully exploit his talents. The Falcons' defense, proficient in third down stops and red zone defense, adds another layer of complexity for the Jets. This matchup unfolds with both teams struggling offensively throughout the season. The absence of a dominant quarterback, with Desmond Ridder facing off against Jets' third stringer Tim Boyle, suggests a game characterized by numerous punts. The Falcons, emphasizing a run-first approach, are poised to control the clock extensively. The game's likely outcome is a contest where touchdowns are scarce, with both teams relying more on exchanging field goals. The Jets' vulnerable offensive line, having yielded 47 sacks, further reinforces the prospect of a low-scoring affair. While the total for this game might seem low, the conservative strategies adopted by both teams point towards a game characterized by clock management and defensive efforts. In consideration of these factors, under the projected total emerges as our full game total pick. Miami Dolphins versus Washington Commanders. In a highly anticipated inter-conference clash, the Miami Dolphins are set to face off against the Washington Commanders on a Sunday afternoon. Last week, the Dolphins showcased their dominance with a convincing road victory against the Jets, while the Commanders suffered a setback at the hands of the Cowboys in their recent matchup. Despite facing some challenges this season, the Dolphins have displayed an overall strong performance, boasting a notable average of 31 points per game. Through the air, Miami has been formidable, garnering an average of 285.3 yards per game with 23 passing touchdowns and 11 interceptions. On the ground, they have been equally effective, averaging 145.2 yards per game with 19 rushing scores. Defensively, the Dolphins have allowed an average of 23 points per game, conceding 16 touchdowns through the air and 9 on the ground. In their latest triumph against the Jets, the Dolphins secured a convincing 34-13 win, with quarterback Tua Tagovailoa leading the charge with 243 yards, 1 touchdown, and 2 interceptions. The running game was robust, as Raheem Mostert contributed 94 yards and 2 touchdowns, complemented by Jalen Waddle's impressive 8 receptions for 114 yards. On the flip side, the Washington Commanders have encountered struggles on both offensive and defensive fronts this season. Averaging 20.5 points per game and 247 yards, the Commanders have faced challenges in the passing game, with 18 touchdowns and 13 interceptions. Their rushing attack has garnered 96.8 yards per game with 9 touchdowns. Defensively, Washington's vulnerability lies in their pass defense, conceding an average of 264.6 yards per game and allowing 28 passing touchdowns so far. In their recent matchup against the Cowboys on Thanksgiving, the Commanders faced a tough outing, succumbing to a 45-10 defeat. Quarterback Sam Howell posted 300 yards with 1 interception, while Brian Robinson managed 53 rush yards, and Curtis Samuel added 9 catches for 100 yards. As these two teams prepare to clash, Miami enters the game with a favorable trend, having won 3 of their last 4 games. However, their road record stands at 3-3 this year. Washington, with a 1-4 record at home and recent struggles, aims to turn the tide in their favor. Analyzing the matchup, the Dolphins' potent offense, ranked number 1 in passing, poses a significant threat to Washington's vulnerable pass defense. Miami's ability to exploit explosive plays aligns with Washington's recent struggles to limit such occurrences. Additionally, Miami's solid pass rush is anticipated to put pressure on Sam Howell, leading to potential turnovers. Considering Miami's 7-4 record against the spread compared to Washington's 5-6-1, along with the Commanders' struggles as a home underdog, the Dolphins emerge as a favorable side pick, especially when staying under the key number of 10. So the Miami Dolphins to win and cover the spread as favorites is our full game game side pick. Delving into the total pick, Miami's high-powered offense, capable of reaching 40-plus points, is expected to exploit Washington's defensive weaknesses. Despite Miami's defensive vulnerabilities, Washington's ability to score, as demonstrated in previous matchups, suggests an opportunity for the over to hit. With a 6-5 over record for Miami and a 7-5 record for Washington, the stage is set for a high-scoring affair, making the over the preferred full-game total pick in this matchup. Detroit Lions vs. New Orleans Saints. On the upcoming Sunday afternoon clash, the Detroit Lions embark on a journey to the Caesars Superdome for a challenging away fixture against the New Orleans Saints. The Lions recently experienced a setback, succumbing to a 29-22 defeat on Thanksgiving against the Green Bay Packers, failing to erase the halftime deficit. Determined to avoid a consecutive loss, Detroit's offense, averaging 27 points per game, seeks to exploit the Saints' vulnerabilities, particularly in their 23rd-ranked run defense. New Orleans, on the other hand, faced offensive struggles in a 25-14 loss to the Atlanta Falcons, marking their third consecutive defeat. The Saints' offense, averaging 17 points per game, faces challenges with key injuries sidelining key players like Michael Thomas, Chris Olave, and Rashid Shaheed. Additionally, the Saints' defensive unit appears depleted, especially in the secondary, creating opportunities for Detroit's quarterback Jared Goff to capitalize on his efficiency indoors. Jared Goff, known for his proficiency indoors, is poised to exploit the Saints' injury-riddled secondary, especially with the questionable status of key defensive players like Cam Jordan. The Lions, boasting a 6th-ranked rushing attack, anticipate finding ample opportunities against the Saints' struggling run defense, setting the stage for Goff to orchestrate the offense comfortably. New Orleans, coming off an unimpressive game against the Falcons, faces challenges with injuries and a lackluster offensive performance. The Lions, despite their recent shortcomings, see this matchup as an opportunity to regain their momentum, particularly with the Saints' offensive struggles and a defense that has shown vulnerabilities against both the pass and the run. While New Orleans endured a challenging game against the Falcons, kicking 5 field goals and suffering key injuries, the Lions aim to capitalize on their opponent's weaknesses. The Saints' depleted receiving core and vulnerability against the run present an opportunity for Detroit to bounce back emphatically. Goff's ability to throw for 332 yards in a game where they trailed throughout underscores the potential for a robust offensive performance against the Saints. Considering the Saints' inconsistent play calling and offensive struggles this season, coupled with the Lions' desire for redemption after the Thanksgiving loss, the dynamics of this game heavily favor Detroit. With extra time to prepare and a track record of covering the spread in road games, the Lions are poised for a strong performance in New Orleans. So the Detroit Lions to win and cover the spread as favorites is our full game side pick. Jared Goff's recent performance, albeit marred by Thanksgiving miscues, highlights the Lions' offensive capabilities, ranking 5th in passing yards per game. With Detroit's potent rushing attack and the Saints' susceptibility to the run, the Lions' offensive line aims to assert dominance, exploiting the Saints' weakness and surrendering 121 rushing yards per game at home. Detroit, accustomed to playing in a dome, is expected to engage in a high-scoring affair, capitalizing on the Saints' defensive vulnerabilities. The combination of Detroit's offensive prowess and the Saints' struggles on both sides of the ball sets the stage for a game that surpasses the projected total. In light of the anticipated offensive showcase, over the projected total emerges as a compelling full-game total pick. That's all for now, so if you have any other games you would like reviewed, then leave a comment down below with the game you would like analyzed. Subscribe to our channel, leave a like on this video, and we'll get to it as soon as we possibly can. We would also love to hear your opinion on the picks presented to you in this video, whether you agree or disagree with them, so leave a comment down below and do let us know.